peace, the tranquility here, the strength here. You know, I mean, I won't be participating in my own execution.
He was months away from his execution, and despite bringing attention to his case, Kenneth Foster sat on Texas death row.
I won't be eating last meals. You know, I won't be walking. I won't be doing those things. If they want me on the gurney, they're going to have to pack me and they're going to have to throw me on there. I'm not going to walk and I'm not going to get on there because this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong, and I want you to remember this.
Foster received worldwide attention when anti-death penalty groups rallied Texas Governor Rick Perry to commute his sentence. Even former President Jimmy Carter asked the Texas Supreme Court to reconsider his 2006 scheduled execution.
And I don't want your meals, and I don't want these things. I want you to realize you're about to kill a man who hasn't killed anybody.
Oh yeah, this is Kenny here. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Foster's grandfather, Lawrence Foster, says he prayed every day for his grandson's life to be spared.
And the family really goes through agony during this time. Each and every day, the thought runs through the mind of a parent or a friend or a relative as to what will be the outcome.
Some people are just so vile and so evil that they shouldn't be here with the rest of us.
Robbie Cooper is for the death penalty. He campaigns to keep it tough and writes a conservative blog, urbangrounds.com.
I believe that we must show and determine the value of life is so precious and so great that the crime for taking it, or that the penalty for taking it, is you sacrifice your own, you give up your own.
On August 30th, 2007, Kenneth Foster was transported to Huntsville, where he was set to die by lethal injection.
I'm not participating in this, man. I'm not participating in what y'all doing to it. I'm not participating in this. I'm not gonna dignify what y'all trying to do. I'm not gonna dignify this process what y'all doing to me. I'm not gonna dignify this, man.
Kenneth Foster was arrested with 3 accomplices in 1996 after an armed robbery spree through San Antonio ended with one of his companions gunning down 25-year-old law student Michael LaHood Jr. A Texas jury convicted Foster and sentenced him to die, along with the gunman, saying that he should have anticipated that the crimes could lead to murder.
There are 413 inmates sitting on Texas death row waiting to be executed, and Foster is one of 80 who was convicted of a capital crime without actually having killed someone. He was convicted under what is known as the law of parties.
Foster's actions that night, going out and robbing people all night with a guy who had a gun, stalking down another car, I think he showed a reckless regard for life. So I think his conviction was just under the law of parties. I'd like to see it be carried out even further.
Texas Representative Harold Dutton wrote 2 House bills that are trying to change the death penalty in Texas. One will end the death penalty for law of parties cases, and the other will create a moratorium on capital punishment while its practice is reviewed.
We have to just say God bless them. That's the sad part. And that's why I'm against capital punishment, because there's nothing you can do to correct theirs.
I would like to see the law of parties applied much more often.
Lily Hughes, a leader from the group Campaign to End the Death Penalty, helped Lawrence Foster catch the media's attention by organizing marches and protests in the days leading up to Foster's execution. Lily's group is working closely with Representative Dutton and the Fosters to get the law of parties off the books.
This is the necklace I was telling you about. He was always making fun of me. He always said I was country. So I never wore anything but jeans and a t-shirt down to visit. My feminist would come out and be like, I don't have to do that or whatever, you know what I mean? I can wear what I want.
Lily started campaigning against the death penalty after she moved to Texas from Oregon in 1995. Along the way, she formed a 7-year relationship that she always knew might abruptly come to a close.
That's more of a mischievous smile. He always kind of looked like he was up to something back there. It's a funny one. This is my favorite one.
She started a pen pal relationship with a man on death row.
Just something about it appealed to me, and I thought, all right, this is who I'm going to write. I'm going to write this guy, Justin Fuller. So I just wrote him a letter.
On April 21st, 1997, at the age of 18, Justin Fuller and 3 other men went into 21-year-old Donald Whittington's college apartment in Dallas, blindfolded him, robbed his apartment, and forced him to withdraw money from an ATM. They shot him 3 times in the head, all for $80 apiece. In an interview from death row, Fuller never admitted to shooting Whittington. He expressed sympathy to Whittington's parents.
I would just like to say, man, that what happened to their son was wrong. Some would say that I should have stopped it, or some would have said that it could have been different. Yes, it could have been different. But I would just say I'm sorry. Sorry that they had to lose their loved one for something senseless, right?
Justin Fuller was one of 2 men that were tried as the shooter in the case. He was convicted and sentenced to death in March of 1998. In return for lighter sentences, the other 2 men testified against Fuller.
And I would just try to say that I don't believe that my death would bring no comfort. It might, but I doubt it, right? Because I just don't believe that killing me would bring a whole peace to the soul.
In the state of Texas, the principal method of execution is lethal injection. Each inmate is injected with a 3-dose serum.
This is when he was executed.
5 days before Fuller's 28th birthday, Lily drove to Huntsville with her husband and 3-month-old son Oscar to witness Justin's execution.
They say it doesn't hurt. You saw the thing going for the second drug. He was still awake, you know, looking at us. It was just so inhuman. And also, it just was so wrong, you know, to like, here's somebody, they're perfectly healthy, they're alive. You know what I mean? Like, I can't explain just how like shockingly against humanity it is. And then all of a sudden it's over. And they're making you leave the room. His parents asked me if I wanted to go over to the funeral home with them, because they were going to rush right over there because they're going to bring the body right over. And they wanted to get over there right away so that they could touch him, you know, while he's still warm. Sorry.
After I die, I always tell my pen pals that I'll just be floating in the wind. Where I'll go, I don't know, but I'll be floating somewhere.
Lily and Lawrence fought for Kenneth's release.
Racist cops! Racist governors! Go to hell!
Protesters showed up in front of Rick Perry's mansion the afternoon of the scheduled execution.
Being deprived of their life for something that they are not responsible for. He hasn't killed anyone. In fact, he was not even instrumental in the death of the person that was killed.
When Foster had less than 3 hours left to live, the governor commuted his sentence to life in prison.
Without the publicity, no, he would not be alive today.
Lily and Lawrence continue their fight against Texas, the only state in the nation that applies the law of parties while seeking the death penalty. They want to abolish the law of parties as a first step toward the day Texas no longer has the death penalty. Despite the success Lawrence had with Kenneth's case, he is haunted by the hundreds of men facing the same situation. You're an American. I mean, do you still have faith in the justice system? Do you think it's...
You want me to tell you the truth?
Yes.
Yes, I do.